Let me start with you, Nalin Kohli. The accusation from the opposition is this law was passed by Parliament in 2019 because of the brute majority the BJP enjoys in the Lok Sabha and, of course, with help from other parties in the Rajya Sabha. Why wait for 4 years before the rules of notification are issued for these laws? The only reason you're doing this before the Lok Sabha elections is to polarize, and it's for political/electoral purposes. How would you respond to that?
First, it's not a question of brute majority. It is what the people of India decided to be the constitution in terms of numbers of the Lok Sabha. And the bill is passed, or any bill becomes an act. It's passed by following the due constitutional procedure. Number two is that timing. Well, it was passed. There were protests at one point. The government is in its right to choose its timing. It's not as if it shouldn't. It is an act. It is a law. Why should it not be implemented? It's not to be used as a decoration item on the mantelpiece of some political person. After all, it has to be put in effect. Number three, I heard also the reactions to it. The CAA bill has nothing to do with Indian citizens who are already citizens, whether Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Buddhist, Parsi, Jew. So then a whole set of people have tried to fearmonger to say that the Muslims in India who live in India will be persecuted or lose their citizenships. They are liars, L-I-A-R-S, or they don't understand what they are talking, or they don't understand the constitution or the rights of the people who are Indian citizens. CAA has to do with certain identified groups or religions who cannot go anywhere else in that sense. So I ask a question that, number one, Muslims, it will be injustice, as Mr. Owaisi said. There are 55 countries where Muslims can go to. Tell me one Hindu country. India is also not a Hindu country designated in that sense. It's a Hindu majority country. Look at the state of what happened to Hindus or Christians in Pakistan or say in Bangladesh. They are dwindling, persecuted, girls are raped, picked up, forcibly married off, murdered, temples desecrated. Where will they go? To another Muslim majority country? They can't. So they can look only at one place, which is India. So it's fast tracking it for them.
No, but Lalit, the argument from the opposition, and I'll ask this to Ghanshyam as well, but the argument from the opposition is in an avowedly secular country where secular is enshrined in the preamble of the Constitution, to single out one religious community, that is discriminatory.
When was the word secular per se added in the Constitution? It wasn't part of the 1950 Constitution. It came in with an amendment. So therefore, it just shows that it's an evolving concept. So was India less secular in 1950? Did India follow Hindu policies between 1950 and 1975-76 when the word was inserted into the preamble of the Constitution? What kind of argument is this?
Okay.
They believe that the entire tenure of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Indira Gandhi and others was a non-secular government.
Ghhanshyam Tiwari, India is the sort of bulwark in South Asia. We're surrounded by at least 3 stated Islamic republics in Afghanistan, Pakistan and Bangladesh. The government's contention is, and you know, these are recorded facts, there are minority groups who are persecuted in these 3 countries. Where do they seek refuge? Is it not India's moral, political, diplomatic obligation that the minorities in these countries are given refuge, particularly when they are persecuted and when they are fleeing these countries? We have, without the CAA, with or without the CAA, we've already given asylum to Tibetan Buddhists, to Sri Lankan Tamils, to minority groups from Pakistan, Hindus from Pakistan. There's a whole colony in West Delhi that houses minority Hindus from Pakistan. So we are doing this with or without the CAA. Now that the law has been formalized, what is the problem with the opposition? Why are you creating such a ruckus?
Good evening, Zaka, to you, the viewers and my fellow co-panelists, and a very happy new year to everyone, with the belief that our efforts together will make India prosperous. Coming to your question, there are 2 or 3 backdrops that are important. You said brute force. That was you said brute majority. That was 2019. Flash forward 2023. Now BJP has brute force. They can throw out members of parliament and pass important bills where none of us here can have a 2-minute serious discussion without referring to notes that are supplied often to BJP on WhatsApp about what Bharat Nyaya Sanhita is, how it's different, because of which the truck drivers across the country have to protest. And this is the kind of brute force that BJP believes in. And as far as the sense of constitution, BJP, Nalin spoke about 1950. That was the time RSS did not believe in tricolor. It took them 50 years. So to say that India is an evolving democracy, yes, but under BJP, the mission is to make it an evolving dictatorship and to push people to the point where they don't know what to expect. Why are people worried? People are worried because they have a government that has a design, a ploy, a scheme, a shadyantra in their mind. We don't know what to expect out of this government. The Prime Minister will say CAA but no NRC. Mr. Amit Shah will say, "Aap chronology samajhiye CAA, NRC." So BJP's game is to take away citizen rights by brute force, not brute majority.
No,
Brute
one
majority
second, Ghhanshyam, let's be very clear about this. Please, if you are making such an accusation, such an allegation against the government, please tell us whose citizenship rights are being taken away. Which Indian citizen is losing his or her citizenship because of CAA? Be clear tonight.
Right. I'm saying the difference between brute force and brute majority. When you throw out members of parliament from parliament and pass important laws, where BJP spokespersons, I've come on debates, ask them, say 3 things about those laws. Most are unable to, because those laws were not discussed. This is when you take away rights of members of parliament. What are common citizens? What I am saying is this is a ploy of BJP. आगे देखिए होता है क्या? They are a government that is conniving against our own citizens to take away rights. This is step one.
One second, Ghhanshyam, again I keep coming back to that. Let's not confuse issues. The dismissal or the suspension of MPs, that's a different debate. You know, maybe you have a point there. You can't just suspend 140 plus MPs. This is a democracy after all. That's not the issue of the debate tonight. You made a specific charge that the shadyantra, that's the word that you use, the conspiracy by this government is to take away citizenship rights of certain Indian citizens. Now, please articulate for our viewers, who are these Indian citizens whose citizenship you believe the government wants to take away?
I didn't say citizenship. I said rights of citizens.
Yes.
When a government passes laws that change our criminal justice system, when the government passes these laws throwing out members of parliament, they reduce our rights. Under Manmohan Singh, India had a glorious time when citizens' rights were increased. But under BJP, this is the government that went to Supreme Court and said that privacy is not a fundamental right. So set that aside. And the reason I say that there's a shadyantra is here is the thing. When the farm laws came, they said Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad, then law minister, said they had done 1 crore consultations. And when the reports came that the laws were cooked up by some NRIs and some corporates, nobody from the government answered. Similarly,
you're going into issues which are not the subject matter of tonight's debate.
It is not. I'm just saying that look at the pattern.
Okay.
When a home minister says that chronology is CAA and NRC, and the prime minister says that it's only CAA and NRC ki koi baat nahi hai,
So
there is a government that wants to deceive the citizens.
Yeah, let me ask Dr. Shantanu Sen.